AI is no longer just about automation. It's becoming a co-pilot for innovation, transformation and trust. At Cognizant and Aston Martin F1, they're unlocking new ways to apply AI across operations, experiences and talent. In this conversation, we dive into the biggest opportunities ahead and how trust, adaptability and human judgment remain key in engineering AI for impact. It's lovely to see you, Prasad and Andy. Prasad, if I could start with you. What are the most common opportunities you're seeing for AI to create impact with clients at Cognizant?
Thank you for having me first, and great to see you, Andy. Lots of opportunities for us. AI is fundamentally changing the way that we do business for our clients. We look at it as a three-vector strategy. The first is immediate opportunities around providing productivity for our clients. The second is embedding AI into some of the things that are happening today just to make applications better. But the third is really the big area, which is creating new products and services based upon AI, which is already happening, but it's going to be a huge wave that's going to come in the next few years.
And as the world is becoming more and more shaped by AI, how are you seeing it in the sport of F1 being adopted?
I think Formula One's always been this competitive environment that welcomes new technology. And helps accelerate the technology with opportunities to translate tools into lap time, reduce lap time. But as just mentioned, it's also about having an efficient business. How can we make sure that everything we do inside the business is done super efficiently? So we've got more time left for doing development, because development, that's how you turn a car into a quicker car. Yeah, that's how you add lap time. It's, development is what you do with what's left. So having an efficient business using AI systems helps tremendously in every area.
So how is AI currently being used within the Aston Martin Formula One team?
AI has been used in a variety of areas. It's a new technology, and therefore it's a start. It's been used in some of the business systems areas to help improve the efficiency of the organisation and go into more detail. And we're starting to use it in the development of the car. There's a huge amount of data that we capture, whether it's from CFD, the wind tunnel or trackside, and having an AI tool that looks in greater detail, looks for anomalies, and is prepared to look over a wide area, that's adding big value.
Well, you talk about that data, Andy. I mean, a modern F1 car streams 160 or around 160 terabytes of data per race weekend. You've got a race engineer decides what the driver hears. You've got the driver trusting that engineer. But in terms of your world, Prasad, who plays that race engineer role for enterprise AI? And how do you make sure the frontline teams trust the insight enough to act on it at full speed? The two worlds converge, but in your world, how do you?
Absolutely. So I want to first actually start with what Andy mentioned. AI is amazing, but at the end of the day, AI is driven by data. And the amount of data that you are producing is fascinating. So I'm just really excited by the opportunities that Formula One has with all the kinds of data that you have and how AI can act upon it. I think it's going to fundamentally actually even change the ways in which you're working. Coming back to the race engineer question, actually we look at ourselves as the race engineer for our clients, because what we want to do is take technology that is really being used by consumers and take it to enterprises. Now, taking it from consumer grade to enterprise grade is a big step. And that's where you have to kind of trust the race engineer, so to speak, which is us, for us to be able to make it trustworthy, to make it dependable, and so on. So we are the ones who are building that plumbing, building the platforms to be able to take it from consumer grade to enterprise grade. And you brought the point of trust. I think that's very fundamental in the world of artificial intelligence, because without trust, you're not going to have enough adoption.
Yeah, I'd love to build on that as well. When you watch what goes on in the garage and you talk about the communication from the race engineer to the driver, there are 6 engineers feeding information into the race engineer, and it's a high pressure environment. We can create AI tools that interrogate that data to a far greater depth and feed instantly the phrase that the race engineer should pass on to the driver. Yeah, and perhaps even the AI bot could talk to the driver.
That's taking it to another level.
Exactly.
So you are streamlining everything. You talk about speed and efficiency. We know in Formula One, you talk in terms of a thousandth of a second. Yeah. Every thousandth of a second equates to potentially more success on track.
Exactly. It's not just about optimizing the development of the car. It's also optimizing the decision making at the track. If we can make the call quicker, perhaps we can call the driver in a lap earlier. Perhaps that will give us the advantage to take a place and get on the podium.
All this is change, and everyone needs to get used to it. So with this rise of AI, Andy's just spoken there about the potential, the level you could get to with an AI bot talking to the driver. How do you view the need to upscale and reskill, I guess, your entire ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. We have to start, internally first. So we're in the process of helping all of our associates within Cognizant really adopt and understand AI. But in addition to that, we have to work with our clients, making sure that our client employees are also on the same journey. But it's a little bit bigger than that. And we look at, working with nonprofits, working with educational institutions, because this is the next wave. And I think we have to play a significant role in helping people get up to speed.
That's also, I think, where your comment before about the trust comes in. Trust is a word that's being used a lot around AI because you have to have people trust it to use it efficiently and use it properly.
Yeah, I think we need to be open-minded to the opportunities that are there. We need a culture and an environment where people don't fear loss. They see the benefit. And that's where explaining to the whole business what AI can do to help all of us be more efficient in our day-to-day life, but also explore areas that we just didn't consider were possible before. Yeah. When I look at the amount of data that comes through from the CFD analysis, from the wind tunnel, back from the track, you do want to examine every single meter of track data as you go around, but that would take an army of people. Well, we can use AI to be that army of people to look at it. So it's being open-minded, it's being creative, but we need to be taught about the opportunities and have some, showcase examples.
You mentioned the word culture. That's so important, isn't it? Creating the culture
Absolutely.
that deals with and copes with the transformation.
Yeah. I just want to add something that Andy just mentioned. So today in the world of artificial intelligence, there's the whole area of agentification. I'm sure you all heard it because everyone talks about it. But I can see a future where you're going to have human plus agent, particularly in Formula One, with the amount of data that's being generated and supporting the driver. You're going to have not just race engineers, but you're going to have race engineer agents who are, providing all kinds of fascinating insights. And I think it's fundamentally going to change the world, and Formula One is going to really benefit from that.
Yeah, absolutely. The technology development of a Formula One car, we're pioneers. Yeah, we're exploring new technologies, and some of it's incremental development and some of it's exploration of something completely new. And AI can definitely help us with both of those to push the boundaries and the pace with which we learn. And in Formula One, it is all about your rate of development. If you want to get to the front, your rate of development needs to be greater than your opponents. If you want to stay at the front, it needs to stay greater than your opponents. And that's where AI is a wonderful opportunity for all areas.
We're in a fantastic facility here. We're looking at the future already here with the Aston Martin Technology Centre. The campus coming in 2026, the wind tunnel. Do you feel prepared for the future? What else are you doing to prepare for this future?
I think you always try to be prepared for the future. But there's always some little surprises. There are always some things that you haven't thought of. There are always some things that don't go perfectly well. That's life developing new technology and new facilities. But we're very excited. We're very excited about the progress that's been made, the tools that are being used, and the opportunities that we have in front of us.
Yeah, I think Formula One is actually a perfect example of where technology and artificial intelligence and all of this and data, absolutely, because of the amount of data that's being produced, comes together. And I think the opportunities are just, endless. There's, I think, huge amounts of progress that can be made, and I'm just waiting to see what, these possibilities are.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's It's understanding the tool, it's coming up with some good showcase examples and using our imagination.
Yes.
Yeah, our imagination of what it could do to help us.
So if AI is really going to scale, and we're not just talking about Formula One here, what's it going to take?
From a Cognizant perspective, we have the approach to take AI from being consumer grade to enterprise grade. And the way we do that is through platforms. So let me explain what a platform really is. You have a myriad of AI technologies out there. Everybody's developing new things. What we try to do is build a platform which actually is a way in which we can bring various different technologies for a specific function. So for example, if it's around how you run your technology applications as well as infrastructure for a company, we have a platform called Neuro IT Operations that does that. If you're looking at building new applications with AI infused in it, we have an application platform called FlowSource that brings it. So what we try to do is bring the best of technology that's available in the market, and in a way that enterprise can apply and build on that in a very safe and secure manner.
And how important are they?
I think platforms enable you to not only pick the right technology, but also scale and be able to, imbibe all of this stuff very quickly. If you're trying to go and do that yourself, it's going to take a lot more time.
AI agents, tell me more. How does that work? How would you see that working, an AI agent alongside the race engineer?
So I think agentification or agents in AI is absolutely the next step to unlock the power of AI. So, the last few years, we've really had AI, with things like ChatGPT and various other technologies bring AI to the consumer, but agentification takes it to the next level. So what agentification does is it's going to take a specific task that a human can do and actually make decisions while controlling the heart of AI, which is sitting in a large language or a small language model. So, for example, in insurance, and this is happening today and it's going to increasingly happen more and more. Let's talk about the insurance industry. So if somebody is going to be underwriting an insurance policy, you can now have an AI agent that is able to look at an application and then decide how that needs to be underwritten. So it, in many ways, takes over a lot of the tasks that a human is going to do. Now, the human's still going to be in the loop because while they ask the agent to go and do this, they are able to take a look at, the output at the end. But you're going to have agents in all industries, including Formula One, taking over specific tasks that humans couldn't do. So basically, they use the power of AI, but they're able to actually make decisions.
So can you see how that would work for you at a track?
Yeah, I'm just thinking now. We have aerodynamicists that look at the load data from the car running on the track, and they compare that with the wind tunnel measured data. And there's always a slight difference, a correlation difference we talk about in Formula One. Well, as the car's going around the track, the AI agents continuously looking to see the difference between track load and wind tunnel anticipated load, and could that then talk to the AI agent that's the optimizing shape for the front wing and propose different shapes for the front wing based on that?
Absolutely. And you actually, Andy, you touched upon the heart of it, which is actually the power of these agentification exercises, that these agents are not working alone, they're actually working with each other. So the whole idea is to have several agents who understand how to, kind of work with each other. And this is a great example.
So we could optimize the shape.
Absolutely.
That could then feed into CFD. It could check the results are better. And then the additive manufacturing machine could be making the parts Sunday evening, and we can fit them to the wind tunnel model.
And this is agentic AI.
8:30 Monday morning, and then the part's ready for the next race.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Speeding up the development.
Well, this is it. All talking to each other, speeding up the development,
Exactly.
helping you get the parts to the track quicker,
Exactly.
make the car go quicker.
Exciting future.
We don't ever want to lose, though, that human element, the driver, the noise, the frailty sometimes of drivers. We don't want to lose all of that. We're never going to replace the driver, though.
No, I mean, the drivers don't have any aids. There's no anti-lock brake system. There's no traction control. They've got 1,000 horsepower in a lightweight car, and they're going wheel to wheel, and we love that, and we don't want to change that at all. But they spend time racing at a race weekend, but they're also in the driver in the loop simulator. So maybe an AI agent can act as a coach, as a driver coach on lines. What's the best line for looking after tyres in a race versus a qualifying lap? Maybe that coach can go home with the driver as well, and on their pad they can just keep looking and keep being trained. Maybe that's a possibility.
Absolutely. And this is, at the end of the day, AI is a probabilistic technology. So we always look at having a human in the loop. So that's very important. But in all aspects of work that we do, for example, in programming, we have the human and we have AI as a peer programmer. So, it's considered as a code, we call it a code companion. So it's somebody who's with you, working with you. But at the end of the day, we always have the human in the loop to make sure that the output is what you want it to be.
So that could translate to life in general. You could have your own coach through life as an AI agent.
Totally. I think AI is going to be pervasive. It's going to be part of everything that we do in life, whether it's Formula One, whether it's insurance, whether it's technology. But it's going to really come down to how well we can use this power of technology and embed that in everything that we do in life.
Use it to make us all better.
That's right.
So on that basis then, if drivers can then have a coach from whatever age they first get into karting in the future, how do you see that going and that trajectory? They are just going to be better and better and better and faster than we've seen before.
Yeah, every Formula One team's got a driver academy, and we're attracting youngsters from that young age when they go karting. And so if the AI agent can train and coach them and take the data from every event that they do, every practice session, and they've got all of that at their fingertips, and provide them with support and help and guidance, then the drivers of the future will be even more incredible than they are today.
So we can train them to be the very, very best and the very fastest. But the beauty of sport is there is always that human element. There's always that fragility that you just don't know and you can't predict that might come in.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, there's 1,000 people in each team creating, hopefully, the fastest race car. And then 20 Formula One drivers get in there, and in qualifying and Sunday they go into the first corner, and it's a sport, it's a competition, and it's down to that split-second decision of those human beings, and that's the exciting bit of our sport.
So on that basis then, how do you see AI impacting the young drivers of tomorrow?
We've all got young driver academies, youngsters that are driving go-karts. If the AI agent can help them, can coach them, can take all their data and improve the way they drive, all the way up into Formula One, can help them understand how to use the tyres in qualifying, how to use the tyres through a race distance, then the incredible drivers will become more incredible. But at the end of the day, on a Sunday, there's 20 cars on the grid, the red lights go out, and they go tearing into the first corner, and then it's down to the humans. It's those 20 humans, and that's the exciting bit of our sport.
It is. That's why we love it as well. Listen, Andy, thank you very much. Prasad, thank you. Great to talk to you. Empowering and optimising human performance is at the heart of both Cognizant and Aston Martin F1's ethos. For the coming wave of AI adoption, enterprises that intend to scale will need to have platforms they can trust that allow them to integrate AI tools into their processes and workflows.